You walk into a bathroom, turn a handle, and step under warm running water. One product goes in your hair, another on your body, perhaps a third on your face. You rinse, dry off with a clean towel, and leave. The routine is so familiar that you can perform most of it while thinking about something else. Now, take away the shower. Remove the plumbing, water heater, soap, shampoo, bathtub, towel, and every bottle designed for one specific part of you. You are standing beside a river with your hands in whatever you can pick up from the ground. Water alone does more than you might expect. It rinses away mud dust, loose sweat, and surface dirt. Rubbing helps, and a wet textured material adds more friction: grass, leaves, reeds, rough fiber, or a smooth stone. You can sit in shallow water, scoop it over your shoulders, and work your hair through beneath the surface. Basic cleaning needs water, friction, and time. It does not require soap. The routine depends on where you live. Someone beside a warm river has different options from someone in a cold northern forest. A nomadic group carries less than a settled village. Water might be plentiful in one season and difficult to spare in another. Daily showers and scented products are one way to define cleanliness, not the only one. A washed body could still smell of smoke, oil plants, or the river itself. Water solves the obvious problem. Oil is harder. Skin produces its own oils and smoke sticks to them. Animal fat, plant resins, pigments, and grease can cling to the surface. Plain water carries loose dirt away, but oily material behaves differently. Splash a greasy hand and the water forms beads instead of taking the grease with it. Rub harder and you may only spread the grease into a thinner layer. The problem shifts. Finding water is no longer enough. You need a way to separate oily dirt from skin. One answer is mechanical. Fine sand can scrub, clay can absorb. Ash can help break down oily material. Crushed plants can pick up dirt as they rub against the body. Smooth stones or scrapers can work grime loose. Instead of dissolving dirt through chemistry, you physically lift it away. This takes judgment. A handful of sand may work on a muddy heel and feel terrible on more sensitive skin. Clay can collect oil, but the clay then needs to be rinsed away. Ash can be alkaline and cut grease. Yet its strength varies with what was burned and how it was collected. Too much of the wrong kind can be harsh. The same material can feel useful in one amount and painful in another. None of these methods was universal. Some communities probably used sand. Others may have preferred clay or relied mainly on water and rubbing. The useful choice depended on what was nearby, what needed cleaning, and what experience had shown people to avoid. The evidence cannot tell us how often each material was used or exactly which group did what. One solution sounds backward. Add more oil. Rub oil across the skin and let sweat, dust, and oily residue mix into it. Work it over the places where grime has collected, then scrape away the whole mixture. The oil acts like a magnet for other oily dirt, and the scraper removes both at once. You are not asking water to dissolve the grease. You are gathering the grease into something that can be pulled from the skin. The best known version used a strigil, a curved metal scraper from ancient Greek and Roman bathing culture. People coated their skin with oil, sometimes mixed with fine sand or dust, and scraped it away with the strigil. The tool passed across the arms, shoulders, legs, and back, carrying the dirty oil with it. What remained could be wiped away. This was not a universal prehistoric tool. It belonged to a particular time and place, although the basic idea of lifting oily dirt with oil and removing both appears in different forms across different cultures. The method needed oil, a scraper, and time. It also left a greasy residue on the tool or cloth, and that mess still had to go somewhere. It worked, but it was not the effortless, all-purpose answer that a modern bar of soap seems to be. Warmth changes the process. Hot water opens pores, softens oil, and helps dirt lift from the skin. Once people had containers that could hold heated water, they could bathe warm instead of cold. In different places, people dropped heated stones into water or used steam, sweat lodges, and natural hot springs. Heat loosened what cold water left behind. But warm water had a price. First, somebody had to collect it. Then somebody needed to find fuel, tend to fire, protect the vessel, wait for the water to heat, and move it without spilling or cooling it. After the washing, the used water needed somewhere to drain. Heating enough for one person was work. Heating enough for many people turned washing into a system. Every extra step made warm bathing easier to appreciate but harder to provide regularly, especially when water and fuel both had to be carried. A bathhouse was more than a room containing water. It required labor, materials, and infrastructure. The warm pool seen by the bather was only the final step. Behind it were fuel, containers, drainage, and people keeping the process moving. This is where two histories overlap. Bathing and soap were separate inventions. A society could build public baths without producing bars of soap. Another could make soap-like mixtures without putting them on the human body. People could wash frequently without either. A bath provides warm water and a place to use it. It does not automatically solve the problem of oil. Soap is a chemical shortcut. It forms when fats or oils react with a strong alkaline material. The resulting molecules have two sides. One grabs oil and grease, the other grabs water. Soap can therefore lift oily dirt from the skin and let water carry it away. It bridges two substances that normally refuse to mix. You may have heard that animal fat dripped into ashes and accidentally created the first soap. That story is closer to legend than documented history. Fat and ash can react to form something soap-like, but reliable soap making is not a lucky accident. The strength of the alkali, the ratio of fat to alkali, and the temperature all matter. Get those conditions wrong, and the result may be harsh, greasy, or barely useful. One mixture might sting the skin. Another might leave the fat almost unchanged. A useful product had to work more than once, which meant remembering the ingredients, controlling the amounts, and repeating the process closely enough to get a similar result. The earliest written mixtures resembling soap do not include bathroom instructions. Clay tablets from ancient Mesopotamia describe oil and alkaline materials, often for cleaning wool, textiles, or other substances. Some may have been used on the body, but the tablets do not always make that clear. They describe mixtures and jobs for those mixtures, not a modern shower routine. That difference matters. A substance can be valuable because it removes grease from wool without being pleasant enough to rub over human skin. It can clean a material, help process it, or serve a specialized purpose. Calling every soap-like mixture a bathroom product folds several different uses into one modern word. In the 1st century, the Roman writer Pliny the Elder mentioned sapo, a substance made from fat and ash. He described Gauls and Germans using it on their hair rather than Romans carrying it into the bath. Soap existed, but it was not yet the center of personal cleanliness that it is today. For a long time, soap-like substances were mainly used outside the bathroom. They cleaned cloth, processed wool, treated materials, and sometimes served medical or hair-related purposes. People still bathed. They simply did not always bathe with soap. A person could value warm water, scraping, oil, and friction without expecting a foaming bar to be part of the routine. That changed as soap production became more reliable and trade spread it. Scented versions made it more pleasant. Packaging turned it into a household item. When more homes gained dependable running water, keeping a bar of soap for everyday use made more sense. Several conditions had to line up. No single invention completed the process. Return to the bar in your bathroom and look at it for a moment. Water still does most of the work. Your hands still supply the friction. Oil and alkaline materials perform the chemistry that water cannot manage alone. The smooth bar compresses a collection of older solutions into something you can use without knowing any of the history behind it. Humans did not wait for soap to start washing. Soap simply made water better at finishing the job.